Hey, welcome back, everybody, all people who subscribed and all people who are just curious. This is another script video, as you can tell by the title. Any of you who are Planet of the Apes fans, this is the TV show from 1974. I loved this when I was a kid. I was 8 years old when this came on, so perfect timing, you know. This is season one. Of course, it was only one season. Episode number 8, The Deception. And I'm not sure what the name Don here, what that means, if it's anybody with the cast or the crew. Couldn't find that, so I'm assuming it's not. Somebody later on probably wrote their name on there. I don't know. It's hard to say. No other writing in here whatsoever, so let me get the brads out of this and we'll take a look at it. Okay, back. Got the brads out, as you can see. Pretty clean brads. They definitely do not show their age, that's for sure. So wherever this was kept, it was not in a very humid environment, that's for sure. Because the brads do tend to corrode and get rusty. So here we go. August 28th. This was actually aired in, I believe, November of 74. So a few months after this was finalized, they went ahead and filmed it as episode number 8. There's a hardboard, or hard, it's not hard, it's more like a little harder than cardboard consistency of the cover. So, and here's a picture to go with it, signed by Ron Harper and James Naughton, but not Roddy. And here we go. The Deception. Anthony Lawrence, Joe Ruby, and Ken Spears were contributing writers. Ruby Spears. They ended up doing quite a few of the live-action kid shows in the Saturday morning kid shows in the 70s. Okay, here we go. There's the page for all the people who were in it. Cast page. Here is a set list. Pretty cool. All the different places. Quite a few in this episode. Not many for the interiors. And here we go. These pages are not white. I forget what they call these, the color. It's like a really light turquoise color. Not sure what the actual color is called. But they were never white, I know that. So. And this is about the two astronauts befriending this girl here, which is a chimpanzee girl who is blind. She doesn't know that both of them are human, and she falls in love with, I think it's Verdon. And her father was recently killed in this episode, supposedly, before they met her, by a bunch of humans. But come to find out, it was actually her uncle who did it when he was going to tell on their little group they had going. They're very similar to the Ku Klux Klan, where they're going out and terrorize humans and burn and kill and whatever. So there's Burden and Burke. I can't remember if it's Burke or Burden. Yeah, Burke is the one who actually she falls in love with, which is the dark-haired guy, dark-haired astronaut. So flip through this. I didn't look to see how many pages. This is an hour show, so it's got to be at least 50 something. 61. Okay. And of course, like I said, this does not have any writing in it. I mean, I don't remember if I went through it every page, but I don't believe there's any writing. I didn't see any when I went through it. Very short-lived TV series, just like a lot of the others. The networks claim that it was because of low ratings, but I guarantee you it's because of the makeup, the budget, too high. So they actually made 14 of these total. And I think 1 or 2 were not aired, if I can remember exactly. They were the 13th and 14th episode, or the 14th, one of the two, if not both. And then later on down the line, in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. All through the 80s, they would mix two episodes and play them together as like a little movie type deal. I think Sci-Fi did that with some of when they were doing it in the early 90s. Because there were no actually movies, pilots of this. This was just episode 1 up to 14. That was it. Unlike a lot of shows at that time, Kolchak the Night Stalker is one for 74 that was big time. They had, I think it was at least 2 movie pilots. And then they finally picked up the show about a year or so after that. So they had a year and a half of movie of the week pilots, and then about 2 years total after that, they went ahead and commissioned the show. Which, another one, didn't last very long. Lasted longer than this one, but of course there wasn't much of a budget on that one. The monsters was not anything they had to do a lot of makeup and stuff with on most of them. I think the biggest makeup job would have probably been, one with Kathy Lee Crosby, where she had to kill young people in order to stay young. At the end, she turned old. And probably the one with the mummy, or not the mummy, the zombie. And he had to sew up his lips in the hearse. Some pretty heavy makeup on that. And of course the other one that's a real popular one, the Paramoffet in the sewer. Basically that's just, all they had to get on that was a ghillie suit and add some grass and stuff to it to make it look the way it looked. Still trying to find me some more Kolchak strips. I only got one, but I'm fortunate to have that because they're not easy to come by, that's for sure. They're almost as rare as an original Star Trek TOS script. You can find them, the Star Trek ones, on eBay and wherever, but they're not cheap. So for most people, they are rare enough to be, or pricey enough to be rare and out of reach. So, especially anything that's got notations by anybody who was in it, or any of the writers, or Gene Roddenberry himself. You're looking at $800 to $1,500 or more, probably more than that. I've seen one that's about $6,000. It was Roddenberry's notations in it. I don't remember which episode it was. If it was the Cage, or if it was the Where No Man Has Gone Before. It was one of the early ones, and I believe it was $6,000. Go a little bit quicker here since I've taken up a lot of time gabbing instead of turning pages here. Now the music is from this show. Opening and closing credits. I guess I could have got a little closer. It's a little late now, but still to be able to read them, even though it wasn't as close as I could have been. Hopefully your screen is big enough you can read it. Into back 2. Wow. Getting a back 3. Okay, let me go ahead and change the music here. Okay. A little animated Planet of the Apes for the next bit of music. Pretty cool. I got that set. Box set. Well, it's not very many discs. It's kind of like the show. It didn't last long. Return to the Planet of the Apes. I think that's the name of it. Return to, yep. Now this episode, I didn't mention, was probably one of my favorites of the show. Not sure why. I guess because of the acting. I don't remember the girl's name who played Fauna, but I looked her picture up, and I recognized her when I seen her picture on Yahoo. I just can't recall it right now. Anybody want to know? You can look it up on, I guess, IMDb will have it. But, and then you can look her up, see what she looks like. She was popular in the 70s, I know that. I remember her face as I seen it. Okay, we're getting there. Page 48. Get help from my little feline buddy over here in a minute. He's trying. 49, end of Act 3. Page 50. And page 51. 52. 53. 54. And 55. 56. Lots of action going on here. 57. 58. 59. And 60. And 61. So there you have it. And, oh, wait a minute, 62. The end. And I don't believe there's anything on the back cover. Nope. So there you have it. Season 1, Episode 8. Planet of the Apes TV show, 1974. The Deception. Okay, let me know what y'all think. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't, and ring the bell for notifications. Let you know when I'm doing a new video, which is at least every other day, if not every day. So, y'all take care.